What am I waiting for? Waiting to feel ready to start talking. All right. If you are a Christian woman who is waiting to feel ready to do the thing that you know that God has called you to do, you just might miss your calling. You just might end up never doing the thing. You just might end up lying on your deathbed, looking back at your life and what you wish you would have done, but knowing that you didn't do it. And honestly, feeling ready is an amazing feeling. I would love to feel ready before I did anything that I set out to do. But the thing is that you're never going to feel ready until you start doing the thing. Like, your feeling ready comes with experience. So if you are expecting yourself to wake up one day and all of a sudden because I think with that, like, feeling ready comes with, when you look at the things in your life that you're like, oh, I feel ready to do this, that comes with intentional habits that have been formed in order to help you do that thing. That's come with experience, that's come with learning curves that you've worked through. So anything that you currently feel ready to do, it's because you've done it already. Like, nobody, that's like, if you expect yourself to feel ready before you do your kingdom work, and quick plug, if you want help with doing your kingdom work, then it's not ready to download yet, but I'm working on the On Purpose Planner. But you can jump on the email list so that you are one of the first ones to know when it is available. It's a 12-week planner that is designed to do your kingdom purpose on purpose. So what was I saying? Okay, so talking about feeling ready. Because the thing is that my goal is for you to be able to take action, and knowing that those first few steps that you take are going to be uncomfortable. Like, when you are at the beginning, or if you're at the beginning of of doing the work that God has called you to do, whether that is intentionally slowing your life down and creating a home that is good for you and your children, or it is selling everything you have and moving somewhere else because God has called you to a different place. Maybe it is starting a business. Whatever it is that you need to do, those beginning steps are going to be uncomfortable, and you're not going to feel ready. If anything, your emotions and your feelings, your instinct is going to want to drive you in the other direction. And so if we expect ourselves to feel ready, we kind of have to question, what is it that we're actually expecting ourselves to feel? Because it's like, okay, am I expecting myself to be at a level where I have confidence as though I was already doing the thing? Like, am I expecting myself to, what exactly are you expecting when we say, or when we think that we don't feel ready? And I think it's just one of those things that we keep on, we want to do the thing that God has called us to do, but it's like our feelings are never there. And I think if you could start to see that as part of just knowing those first many steps, those feelings aren't going to be there, right? Like, your feelings are going to be all over the place. And so it's like, how do you go and just learn to do the steps, even though your feelings aren't there? So I want to give a really small example, but it has a lot of truths that have rung true, no matter whether I'm working on something small that has small stakes or something big that has really high stakes. So yesterday, my son, Darian, just turned 4, and he in the last month has fallen in love with rocket ships, with the moon, with everything, stars, and to the point that he can watch an hour-long documentary about space and just be totally engaged the whole time. And he's only 4, he just turned 4. But anyways, everything with his birthday, we just did a family thing with my sister. She came over, but then all throughout the day, it was like, okay, we're going to just have a fun day doing whatever around rockets that we can do. And so we made a birthday cake in the morning, or I had baked it the night before, and then we made a birthday cake, and I did it with him because it was one of those things I'm like, well, I could do this and surprise him, or we do it together, and then we have this fun experience. And then we made pancakes, and I'll show you pictures of these things. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because I I was looking and looking and looking for ideas for what I could do, kind of like just food wise, to make this a fun rocket ship space kind of birthday. And kind of like, how do I make this spacey without, going all out and buying a bunch of decorations? And so I did not feel ready. And I could have thought my way out of doing any of this stuff, because I would have felt like I need to just practice a few times or make pancakes ahead of time, several times, so that I can get this right. And I was looking on Pinterest for ideas, but I kept on getting to this place where I'm like, I can't do this. It's going to turn out sloppy and floppy. But then I just decided, you know what, the point is for him and I and Carter, our youngest, to have a fun day together celebrating his birthday. And so if none of it turns out the way I would want it to turn out, being a perfectionist, then that's okay, because that's not the point. And so I learned just throughout the day, I had to keep reminding myself that basically I just had to stop looking at what I'm doing, because like the stars ended up looking like a flower, and the rocket ship, it would look like a fish, but the cake looked like a cake, but sometimes looked like a football. And I'll show you pictures, because it was humorous, to say the least. But I kept looking at Darian's face, and he had the biggest smile on his face. And that, in a small way, was I just had to keep going from stop focusing on what I feel, if I'm happy with this, if I feel like I'm able to do this, if my craftiness is coming through and this is actually working, and instead focus on like, what is the point of all this? And it was for Darian to have a good birthday and to have fun. And he loved it. And he was so proud. Anytime he FaceTime someone, he would show them the cake, and he was like super proud of this cake. And it was a success. But at no point leading up to that did I feel like I could do this. And it was just like this small picture of how I have felt with making this YouTube channel. With like, there are certain things that I used to get lost in making outlines for videos. And I had like a whole, probably over 100 outlines, or just ideas that I would come up with an idea and I would jot it down. I got stuck in that loop, and thinking that it's like, okay, if I could just come across the right idea, if I could just make the right outline, it's kind of like I just assume that when I stumble upon the right idea, then a video is just going to happen. And because I was expecting myself to feel ready, but that never happened. Like, never, ever, ever. I would be so inspired, and then as quickly as that inspiration came, it would disappear. And quick plug again, if you know what you are called to do and you want help doing it, then jump on the email list to sign up to be one of the first ones to hear about the On Purpose Planner when it is released. It's a 12-week system designed to help you do your kingdom purpose on purpose. And once again, I lost my thought. Like, I was just saying something about the videos, but when I was creating YouTube videos, I had to learn to just make a video, and like, to the point that my throat was so uncomfortable and scratchy, and I could not talk, and I was anxious, and I had to go through that, knowing that I did not feel ready. Okay, so here's the thing about feeling ready, is that it will only come after you've done the thing like 10 times. So it's only going to come once you've started and you've gotten stuck, and then you walk away and you come back and you try it again, and you start to it's kind of like, let's say if you're playing with clay and you're wanting to make something, you're not going to be able to just, like, you don't know how the clay works, you don't know how it moves under your hands, you don't know how it responds to what you do, you don't know how like thick it can be or should be, or how thin it should be. And so it's not until you start to play with it many, many, many times that you actually gain skill. And when it comes to your kingdom work, it's that thing that is on you. It's that thing that you see in the world and that you're motivated to do something about, but like, you're motivated to do something about it in a specific way that is specific to you. And so when you're looking at that thing or wanting to do that thing, you're not going to feel ready. You're not going to feel comfortable until you start doing it. Like the comfort is going to come with experience and with intentional action, knowing that you are like those first few steps are going to be super uncomfortable. And that needs to be normal, because what I do not want for you is for you to get to the end of your life looking back on a life where you could have done something, quite easily could have done something, but you didn't because you kept expecting yourself to feel ready for it. And so my question to you is that, like, in addition to sometimes we expect ourselves to feel ready, we're waiting for more money, more time, more energy, we're waiting for life circumstances to change. We're waiting for situations or other people. Like maybe you're waiting for someone to call you out and to tell you that, like, this is what you're called to do. And my question to you is, what if that never comes? What if you never get the thing that you are waiting for before you allow yourself to be obedient to God and do the thing that He has called you to do? And because it's like, the thing about Jesus's kingdom is that you don't need to be the best of the best in order to be obedient. You don't need to have anything more than what you have. And so, like, let's say that you are convinced that He has called you to go to a certain nation, or He has called you to start a ministry in your inner city, but you have no resources. You have no ability to make that happen. What are you going to do with that? Like if you have this desire, but you're basically, you have nothing besides the ability to pray. And maybe all you have is the ability to connect with someone who's already doing that thing. And you're like, okay, I've got an extra $5 a month that I can donate to what you're doing. And there is a struggle in that, but it's like, what if that's all that you have the ability to do? My cat's going to wiggle my camera. So again, the question is, if you never get the thing that you are waiting for, you know what you're called to do, but you never get the thing that you feel that you need in order to act on your calling, what are you going to do about it? And I'm going to leave you with that question, and you can go to God, go and journal about it, talk to Him about it, and really like wrestle through this, because I think for a lot of us, there are these little things along the way that they feel huge and they become huge. But when you narrow it down, you're realizing like, oh, okay, I'm sitting here waiting for God to show you exactly what to do, or to tell you step by step what to do, when it's like, okay, you know what, you kind of like, you know what to do, you know what like that next step might be. So go and try that next step. And after that, do the next thing that makes sense and learn from the process. It's going to be uncomfortable, but do it anyway. Okay. So lastly, if this has been helpful for you, you can definitely check out my other videos. But definitely also sign up for that 12-week On Purpose planner. I will be releasing it in the next couple weeks. I'm just kind of taking my time a little bit to work on it, because I want it to, I'm trying to not be too much of a perfectionist, but I also want to make sure that it provides what I want it to provide for you guys. It is designed to get you doing your kingdom work on purpose. All right, that is all. Lastly, remember to read the Bible, get lost in the story of God, and play your part. And I will talk to you soon.